I was playing through Praetorium. I've been doing my MSQ roulettes to get my tomestones to buy my ironworks gear. And I ran across some cheaters in Praetorium. So, as I mentioned, Praetorium has these insanely long cutscenes, and you're supposed to watch them, or at least like have them playing. Like you can go do something else, like you can watch some anime while it's happening, but like they have to be on your screen. There's no way to skip them. The reason why you can't skip them is because, you know, these are the conclusion of 2.0. You don't want to have people pushing sprouts through the end game content and just ignoring all of the story. Like, this is the conclusion to the first expansion. So you sort of want people to actually experience it properly. It does get annoying afterwards. I kind of would like the option, like, if everybody has seen it, just let people skip it. But it's fine, I guess. I guess if they let people skip it, running it would be way too quickly. If you get your ironworks gear in, like, an hour. Like, the only reason it takes, like, 8 hours or so to get your ironworks gear is because, like, you have to watch fucking 20 minutes of cutscenes every time. The dungeon will only be, like, 10 minutes long without the cutscenes. But there is actually an exploit in Praetorium. I didn't know about this beforehand, so I thought it was just some, like, weird thing where somehow people were skipping the cutscenes. But in Praetorium and Cape Meridanum, if you close the game, like you force close the game and you relog, it actually skips the cutscenes and let you just run straight into the dungeon. Like, run straight into the boss. So I had some situations where I went from cutscene to cutscene with the boss instantly dying. I was like, what is going on? This is ridiculous. I sadly didn't get the names because I know that is actually a reportable offense. And I don't know if anyone's got banned for it, but it is definitely against the rules. And if you do see anyone doing that while you are running Praetorium, then tell them to stop. And if they try to, like, encourage you to do it, hey, look, they've literally encouraged you to cheat. Just report them then and there, and then the mods can deal with it and deal with their bullshit shenanigans. They didn't cheat through every single one of them, but they did cheat through a couple of them. Some of, like, the earlier bosses. I don't know why they didn't cheat through the later ones, to be completely honest, because you could still run Gaius and Ultima Weapon and La Habrea without a full party. Like, none of those fights are difficult. You could, yeah, you'd easily run them 4-man if you really want to, especially if you have your tank. But yeah, running into cheaters in those places seems fairly common. Like, it's not as, like, it doesn't happen in other dungeons, because other dungeons you can just skip the cutscenes, or you can at least vote to skip. Voting to skip is perfectly fine. But not having the option altogether is going to lead to some people finding exploits. But this exploit's been in the game at least for 2 years. I found forum posts going back at least that long, but I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back further. FF14, Praetorium, cutscene, exploit. Let's see if I can find stuff going back further. Yeah, I see people... Oh, there's posts going back to 2018. Right, no, sorry, it would go back to 2018 because that's when it was changed. Right. It was changed during whatever expansion was out at the time. Not an exploit, or it would have been fixed years ago. You have no idea how annoying it is forcing you to... No, it's literally... Forcing you to watch cutscenes for MSQ roulette. No, that's literally... You've literally explained an exploit. Right, it was changed in 4.1. 4.1 would have been... Heaven's Ward was 3, so... Stormblood. It was changed during a Stormblood patch. But... So it seems like basically since the patch was made, people have been using this exploit, and I don't really know why why Square hasn't fixed it. Like, that would be a very easy fix. They've literally already got a fix there in Trials and other stuff like that. Put a fucking barrier around the people. Like, if you go run, like, Ifrit, Garuda, whatever trial you want to do, when someone's in the cutscene, it actually puts all of you in this, like, this barrier that there's no way to escape. That would be all they need to do. They literally have a system built into the game to make this happen. So just put people into this barrier and don't let them leave until the cutscene's over. So even if they skip the cutscene, they're just stuck there, like, staring at the ceiling for 10 minutes anyway. That, I feel like, would be honestly, just a funny way to deal with it, to be completely honest. But people have been talking about this for so long. I do hope this gets dealt with at some point. But judging by the fact that it's been there for 3 years, probably won't be. Okay, so I feel like the reason why they haven't, like, instantly added it to, like, the TOS and you can't do it straight away is, like, there are legitimate reasons why you might need to, close the client. Maybe you disconnect your internet. Like, for whatever reason, you lose internet during a cutscene. Like, that's possible. But that's why I think there should be that barrier. Or maybe just be really funny and send you back to the start of the dungeon. Like, you have to just run all the way back. I think that would be a funny way to deal with it as well.